Okay, 1674, good luck. So we've not played before, we have no head-to-head score. Let's play the normal Reti opening, that's this structure. I've won 8,700 games of rapid, that's a lot of rapid chess, that's what, 10 times what I've done. 10 times, okay, it goes after our pawn, so we'll go after his pawn. It's very common to sack the b4 pawn in a lot of these Reti lines. He pushes up to guard. I think it's fine just to take there or push on. Push on, you can easily challenge it, so I'm going to take. Then d3 and g3, that sort of idea. Okay. How do I want to do this? Yeah, I'm going to go d3. He'll be able to play a pawn down. So let's go g3, and we're just going to try and castle, then worry about what to do. Okay. Let's bring our knight up first, potentially challenge this bishop. Oh, he's played knight in. What's the idea with that? Not quite sure what he's trying to do there, but knight over lets us hit the bishop and the pawn. Or can we actually just take the pawn now because he's no longer guarding? So if I just grab the pawn here, takes, is there a nasty move? If you go and attack the queen, I take with check. So I think that's a pawn, but does it lead to, I don't know, say you move the bishop back and we drop our knight back, is there a knight check? He looks guarded, doesn't it? So I don't quite see what he's gone for there. I might be missing something. Or he might have just overlooked something, but I think it's a pawn, and we also hit this pawn if he doesn't trade. I'll pre-move in case he takes back. So he's come forward, so that allows us to take here as well, right? Is he just going around maybe moving a little quick? He's using no time, is he? So let's just take the pawn. Just turn my little heater on there. It's actually a nice, pleasant spring day heater today. So he's played up as well, or maybe he just wants the game over with. Let's just take the rook, as long as we can castle. Yeah, let's play bishop up here first. The bishop might be lost. If we get a pawn, it's still a pawn. We've gained a lot of material. But let's make sure we've castled the important bits done. We've obviously got a square here, so we'll pretend we're going to try and keep the bishop, but see what he does. Knight in, I guess we'll just take. That's what he's gone for. So let's just grab the pawn. Now we've got a nice check here. If he takes, we can take back. Queen's protected. We're going to get rid of the bishop. Roll up a lot of material. You don't have to be technical trying to go after the knight. Let's just try and get another piece off the board. If not two. Okay, he's gone back, so we might as well get rid of that bishop. Now I think it might make sense to kick the knight, because the knight's going to end up on a not very good square. Okay, so if we now play knight forward, we double attack the bishop. Takes, is there a nice check? I don't see it, I don't think there is, so I'm going to play it. Again, I won't pre-move because it is rapid, but I think we'll just take back here. Then once we do, we create a threat, but we need to take back first, otherwise the bishop actually covers it. Oh, he's gone back, so he's allowing us to take. Yeah, he maybe just wants the game over with. Now, if he takes, then obviously we get a check and win the queen. It's just one of them games where it went wrong early, so our opponent's just bailed out of it, I think. Plenty strong enough at 1674. Because if you take now, the knight takes back and we hit the queen as well. So he plays king forward. So we could throw a check in here and then grab the rook. Let's do that. Let's check and let's take the rook. Okay, so let's take now, then maybe come back. We could also check here if he takes and hit the knight as well. It does restrict our bishop, but a piece is a piece, isn't it? So we throw in a check, we hit the knight. His best bet is to just play for some sort of stalemate now. If he comes forward, we've got to check it. He's just had enough. He's just gone wrong early and he's just switched off, hasn't he? We all do that. Let's see what it was in engine speak and see where the mistakes were. 23 moves are just really an opening. They're the move times for both players. Let's request an analysis. when you do these reviews, it's mainly opening mistakes that you're trying to learn from, and obviously your opponent's good play if there's anything that they know that you don't know. Yeah, it's just a one move mistake. 98 versus 79 on the accuracy, but opponent's just gone wrong early and then they've just bailed out of the game, really. So that's the Reti opening with this structure here. And then we're just developing our pieces. So this is all good. And then knight to b4 is down as a blunder. Obviously, it does allow us to take a pawn. 1.7. The correct move was to just develop your knight to f6 instead. So you've just gone a little bit adventurous, a little bit too soon. So we can win a pawn. And instead of taking, he's just missed the fact that another pawn and piece are going there. And then, of course, the game's largely over, barring really bad blunders. But they do happen. You never know, they do happen. So we got a pawn there instead of losing a piece for free. Then we just get another piece off the board. And then the position is just basically collapsed, hasn't it? So it is what it is. It's just really an opening gone wrong, that game. That's all that one is. Okay, 1567. Good luck. So we've not played before. No head-to-head score. Now let's meet the centre with the centre. Opponent. We're just over slightly 1,000 gains of rapid. We're just under. Let's develop the knight. So we're very, very close there. We're just under. What do I want to do? I can develop the bishop. We just got to watch out for this queen idea. But I'm going to bring the bishop out of the chain and try and do the London ourselves as well, or the semi-Slav, however you view it. Okay, he comes forward. Let's just take that pawn up. Just click my little heater on, but it's a nice mild spring day today. Okay, so bishop up, knight in is all standard. But it's still a good move to play, so why not knight in or castle? Depends how bold he wants to be, if he goes that way or that way. He's dropped back. That tells me he probably wants to go this side. I can't play knight up now, I'll lose my bishop. Okay, I'm going to take there and just push the pawn up. I think he wants to go queen side, that's why I think he's played it like that. So we might do the same thing, queen up and castle. Knight up at least helps to challenge this. Depends how bold he's going to be here. But that's what he's gone for. So I think we'll probably try and match that. Indeed, he has played knight in. So we'll just trade and drop back. He'll play f4. Then we'll move our queen somewhere. And then we'll look to castle. Now I could play knight here. Hit the pawn and hit the pawn. And we actually threaten to jump in. And hit two rooks. So is that actually a move if we go forward? Is there a reply to it? Now, can you guard this and this is what I'm trying to see. Because if we go here, we're going to win an exchange. So if you push your pawn forward, we can still jump the knight in and hit the three pieces. But once I've gone forward, there's no coming back. So if I'm missing something, then it could be just a lost piece and game over. So knight g4. I mean, maybe I can play pawn forward, but what reply has he got? The queen can't come forward on the diagonal. The queen can come back and we just take, right? It looks like a move. I can't burn all the clocks, so I'm going to do it. Hit the two pawns. I'm already given away a minute, so he's allowed us in. So we'll jump in and hopefully win an exchange. As long as we're not blundering some major tactic, which we could be, but I just didn't see it. It's still a very dangerous position. I'm still going to try and go queen side, I think, because all these pawns are going to fly down the board. Let's see what he's got in mind, see if we've missed something. I could easily miss anything in any position, of course. Where does my queen actually end up? He's gone back. I assume I want to take this rook. Oops, I was just trying to highlight there. I assume I want to take this one and drive the queen into the corner. That's got to be the right one, hasn't it? Instead of keeping him centralized. And now we just need a development move. Maybe queen up to hit the pawn. And we can castle. But we could go here to hit this pawn instead. Okay, he might play a move like coming back, but he's going to guard his pawn. So I favour that one actually, because if I go here, he's just got a very natural king step. I'm going to go queen side myself and hope eventually we can get them into play, I was going to say, but he's just hung the pawn. He's moved far too quick. Why can't we just take that? Rook across, we just take another. Just take a pawn, attack another. We still have to get our king safe, that's important, but Unless he's just seen attack or bust. But it's vitally important we get our king safe somewhere. So he's pushed on. So we could just take another pawn. But right now his knight's tied down. So do we just miss that pawn? But if we take it, we attack another 2. I don't see the downside to taking it. Am I trapped? Rook across, I can come back to where I am. Knight back, I can just take either of these. I think it's a pawn. But here, has he got a nice trick like knight down? Takes, queen takes. We just castle, right? I think it's a pawn, but again, if I'm blundering, I'm blundering. But we attack another 2. If he pushes this one, we can't actually take. We lose the rook and we lose everything. So we can't actually just take there. But oh, he's happy to trade the queen. Now we can grab another pawn. But trading the queen costs rook material, a lot of material. This probably makes sense. Yeah, he's just had enough of the game. He decided to move on. Trading the queen is a perfectly good option. We've got 6 pawns against 8 pawns. So we're up 2 pawns and an exchange. But we could just grab a pawn as well. But he's had enough of it. So let's just see what it was in engine language. Okay, it's 18 moves, so it's really just an opening. The opponent's just played a little bit too quick for rapid, really, I thought. But the game is played in an arena, so he could be trying to play the whole 2 hours and play lots and lots of games, so that's fair enough. So we'll just review it and see where the mistake was. That's all you're trying to do, is learn from opening mistakes. See, the first 10 moves, all completely flatline level. Well, 99 against 81 on the accuracy, but it's just an opening. It's just an opening hand full of moves, so we played it really well. Don't get many 99s coming up like that. But it's not a full game, of course. It's just the common sense opening rules. So this is all standard. So we're playing more like a London opening here, but with a view to playing it from black, it's more like a semi-Slav from black's point of view. Yeah, but the London system, Queen's Pawn game, London system. So here it's perfectly fine. Leave your bishop where it is. You can trade, you can drop back, you can play knight in. There's lots and lots of options there. But I had the feeling when he dropped back, he wanted to go queenside. And that's sure enough what he did. So we just gone for a common sense setup here. But if this pawn gets forward, you can't actually take it back. So it's something to be aware of. So he's castled. We played our knight up. Yeah, the engine prefers e4 here. And it's very common to trade everything off in the centre. Very common. Just trade it and then pop the other knight to f6. And then just try and castle ourselves. But here, we spotted this nice idea going forward. Yeah, the engine prefers queen back here. We take the pawn and we still got at least one escape square. So drop your queen back to e2. So we've won the exchange, driven the queen into the corner. Then he's just moved a bit too quickly, hung another pawn, then another pawn, and now the queen trade. In this position, it's probably in engine language. In most players, you might just say, just take the pawn. It splits all this structure up and then trade the queen another time. But the queen's a dangerous piece, so it could go wrong. So I'd probably just trade there, get castled and say I'm up in exchange, I'm up 2 pawns. Or cast the other side and it should be a really good game. But either way, it's perfectly playable. So it is what it is.